Hi everybody, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Wow, what an interesting couple of days we've had. Got a couple of things to show you on the charts, so just to show you which charts we'll be looking at today, guys. This is this is my scribbly trading chart. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at the Wyckoff and how that's playing out. This is a chart that I posted freshly yesterday. The Bitcoin dominance, and also we'll look at Tether dominance as well in today's show. So please stay tuned till the very end. Lots of interesting content coming, and I look forward to showing you that. Thanks ever so much for all of you that are liking and subscribing. My channel is blowing up. 237 subscribers in just over a month, so I'm really pleased with that. Lovely comments and feedback and likes and things like that, which I appreciate. And also over 30% of our subscribers now are female population, which is fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I'm not sure why the ladies tend to steer away from cryptocurrency, but I'm really pleased that the female population is growing on my channel. So thank you, ladies, and welcome, and look forward to hopefully providing you with some content that you enjoy. Please do steer me, give me some direction in the comments below the videos if you feel like I'm veering off and putting some of you ladies off. Please do let me know. Okay, thanks ever so much, ladies. Appreciate that. This is obviously my Twitter, which you can see here. So if you can, I'm at Crypto Mainly. That's my handle there. So let's jump straight into the content today, guys. Okay, so this is my scribbly chart. For those of you that know, sorry about the, it does get very busy. Which for those of you who've been watching the channel for a while will know why. This is the chart that I use on a daily basis to actually trade with. So I just wanted to just to remind you, some of you actually, from the video that I posted a couple of weeks back when we were up here in this region. Let me just put my highlighter on, which I always forget to do. I always forget to do that. So, okay, so we talked about when we broke out of this region here, and we were trying to find support above that that support line, pretty much the same as we were here. And some of you will remember I was just looking at a fractal back then, which I've kept on the screen here. It's just out of sight there. But if I bring that back across, some of you remember that we were talking about this fractal. So this bar pattern. It's just basically, for those of you that don't know, the green, this green pattern is basically a copy of the bars which are underneath. Okay, so it's an exact copy of what's happened in this price action. Okay, and you just do a bars copy pattern, and it brings up the an exact copy which you can then move across. And some of you will remember, and I just wanted to just show you this, guys, that I was talking about, even when the price was up here, that we may get something like this with the fractal, this fractal repeat. And look at this, guys, when I put this above here. So we've got the first peak here, first peak there, second peak there. So you've got the first peak and second peak, and you've also got one peak, two peaks here. So if we just line the peaks up, I mean, it's just incredible to see how technical analysis works. It's just incredible. You've only got to play with it very slightly to see that you've got a very, very similar fractal playing out again in this area, which obviously ended up back down at the 30,000 mark. I remember when we first did this, I said, well, let's the fractal is suggesting that we come back down to 30,000. Because as you can see from this wick low here in the green, you see that it was coming back down to the 30,000. I remember saying, God, let's hope that doesn't happen. But sure enough, guys, even the points that you get the consolidation, the little hump in the middle there, the attempts at breaking higher, and then the actual, the failure, are all just incredibly, I think you'll agree, it's just very interesting to see just how incredibly similar that fractal is to what's happened over here. So it's just basically a repeat of that pattern. So, let's hope, guys, that the next fractal is going to be the one where we go from this Wyckoff and we get this type of move here. Incidentally, this purple bar fractal here is basically the copy of the bar from the high, this high here. So you get the high here, you come back down, you almost get like a bottoming pattern, then you get the peak. And I've measured the bars from the peak. So same again here, guys, you get the high, which is this high here, up the top here. You come down, you get the almost a bottoming pattern, and then you start to get these peaks, and you can see just how similar again this fractal is here. And it always surprises me that some people say that fractals are a load of nonsense and things, because you know, it's undeniable when you start to look at things like this. You can see even to the point where the bottom of the fractal, I mean, you couldn't, you know, literally it's almost to the dollar. You know, it's incredible just how accurate that is. So let's hope now we get the bounce. Okay, and looking at the fractal again, looks like we're going to get the bounce, possibly, you know, a retest of the lows, and then before we get the continuation higher. So this area here is the spring. Guys, some of you have sort of sent me some direct messages and things, and you know, you're asking about the spring, and you're saying, well, where's the spring? You know, there's no sort of real bounce and things. But if I just draw your attention now, if you go down to a smaller time frame, on like a 4-hourly time frame, and we start to look at the Wyckoff on the last time that it happened, you know, I just want to draw your attention to this, guys, just so that, you know, we can sort of manage your expectations of what's going to go on. You can see there was no, you know, even when we were right at the very lows and we got the spring suggests a huge bounce. And, you know, when you look at this, this is a 4-hourly time frame, bear in mind. You know, there was no sort of sudden spring that shot us off into the sunset and up to the moon. I mean, it was you know, a very sort of calm, calculated sort of turnaround from that point. Yeah, it was a sort of a very sort of calm turnaround, and I think that some people, because of the word spring, are expecting some kind of, you know, rocket ship for it to immediately spring off and be off into the sunset. But you can see, even though this, you know, this area here. So the reason I'm talking about this, guys, for those of you who haven't been watching the videos up until now, this Wyckoff happened here, in this circle here, and it's happening again here, in my opinion. This is another version of the Wyckoff here. It's a slightly different shape. This one's a bit more condensed. This one's obviously a little bit more spread out over a longer period of time. But as you can see, there was no like immediate spring that took us off into the moon. But although the price was trickling up and trickling up, actually took from the bottom to the top there. Actually took about 4 months from memory. So from the low to the high there, yeah, 111 days. So you know, just short of 4 months there. So from the low to the high, from the 29,000 lows up to the 69,000 highs, that was 4 months that took. And so, you know, don't be surprised to see that again, guys. I think we will get possibly, you know, this second test of the lows maybe. So watch out for that. Perhaps we come up and we test one of, you know, perhaps the wick lows either here. This one here is actually at 33,000, and that one there is at closer to 34,000. So you see the two purple prices here. So the first one is on the way up. The first one is 33,000, just under, and the next one is just over 34,300. So you know, we need to get above those levels firstly. I think that the real key level for us to get across actually is 39,500. I think that's really going to be when we get back up into this, you know, above these support lines and actually really start to get above these wick highs here. So if we can get back above, I mean, the first obstacle, we've got a couple of these wick lows on the way up, so we're likely to get some rejections from those on the way up. But when we get to this dotted line here, that is at the 37, between 37.7 and 37.8. That's the lows of the weekly range. Okay, so obviously that's going to be key, and it's not likely that it won't break through that on the first attempt. But you can see there, you see the lows of the range here on this dotted line. So you've got, you know, the weekly lows here on this little cluster, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know, that is actually at 37.7, between 37.7. The upper part of that interest there is actually at 38.423, as you can see there. Okay, so you've got 37.7 to 38.5 basically is like that would be like a weekly range. I wouldn't be surprised if we attack that and get rejected from it a few times before we actually do break through finally. That wouldn't surprise me at all to see that. Okay, so just going back to, let's move on to the next chart. Actually, we've got this one here. This is one that I put up yesterday, talking about the bullish divergence. As you can see, guys, we did get, the RSI did come down a little bit further. That's not to say that the bullish divergence has gone away, because it hasn't. Bullish divergence is still there. And we did break below, the wick low. We also broke below this horizontal support, and we did come down to these range lows here, as you'll know now. And we've got like a triangular range here, which so we've got like a triangular range here now, forming along there. So you see that little range area there. It may be that we stay in this range for a little while before we get the strength to break up. Just pop that in there. Okay, so you've got this little range here. It's possible that we come up, and we come up maybe to that line, which is the 33,000, which in fact we already have done, and we've got a little bit of a rejection from there. Might be that we bounce around in here for a little while before we get the strength to actually pop through. Let's just have a look, see what that would look like. So maybe we see something like this, where we get we get that bottoming pattern and then get the strength to actually break through and continue higher from there. So the area to watch on this one, incidentally, guys, is this 30. This is the 33,000 level again, which interestingly is the is this dotted line here. You see they've got the wick low there, so that's the 33,000 mark. Which makes sense, because obviously we're measuring off the wick low there, the same wick, so it would make sense that it's the same. But so that's probably the next level to watch, is to get back above the 33,000 mark. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance has been going sideways within this range that we were speaking about before. You may recall I said that we'd be in this range for a while. We did break out and pop up. I wouldn't be surprised, now that Bitcoin is actually finding its bottom, and starts to creep up, is that the dominance starts to come down as Bitcoin price comes up, and that's when hopefully we'll start to see some nicer action from the altcoins. You'll notice, guys, that some of the altcoins are up like 20%, 25% today, and it does make you think, hang on a second, how do you get such a huge price dump down on Bitcoin, and then suddenly and all the altcoins lose so much money all at once, and then suddenly they've made 25% gains again in the following day. And what that is to do is, guys, is the tether dominance. You can see that the tether dominance did break above this dotted line that we were talking about, this resistance level here. It did come up to the top of the range, and it rejected very strongly from that. So you got all basically what I think what's happened there is that a lot of people have realized that Bitcoin's going to fall down lower. They've put, everybody's kind of sold their altcoin positions and things into USDT. Once Bitcoin showed this signs of bounce and signs of bottoming rather down at the bottom here, if you look on a smaller time frame, you can see it more clearly. Now you've got this, you've got some lows and you've got a series of higher lows, and it looks like we're getting some higher lows again. Bitcoin's price is trying to break back up above these resistance lines now. So yeah, it does make sense that people sold out of their positions into USDT, which will have made this USDT chart dominance come up to the top trend line. And once we've got the bottoming signs from Bitcoin, everybody's then come back out of their USDT back into their alt positions and things, which is why you've got a big collapse in price and then a sudden bounce of 20-25% on some of the altcoins. So it does make sense when you look at it like that. But when you look at it on the face of things, after huge big dump down like that, and you see the alts losing so much money, you do tend to think to yourself, well, how can that happen? That all the money just disappears, and then it reappears the very next day, and the alts are back up to close to where they started. And that's the reason why, guys, because you've got the option of stable coins now. People do sell into stable coins and hold their positions and just immediately re-enter the same portfolio, if you like. You've got portfolio management now, where for example, I've got a portfolio management where just at the click of a button or set as a set percentage, it will move all of my entire portfolio into USDT or into Bitcoin, or into Ethereum, in fact. And literally at the press of a button or at the the trigger of a percentage loss, it will move my entire portfolio back into USDT or Bitcoin, which is what's happening here. You know, lots of people are moving their alt positions into USDT, so you get this big spike of USDT as the Bitcoin price comes down, and then you get the big rejection because everybody just clicks a button again and it puts all their USDT that they've just moved out of their altcoins back into the altcoin positions that they had before at lower prices, and that's the way that it works, guys. So hopefully that's, I mean, Bitcoin at the moment, I mean, I do think we're going to see a little bit more action down at the bottom here in this range, this triangular range. I do think we're going to stay around this little area. I mean, I would say probably, let me just move this across a little bit so I can see what I'm looking at on the prices. You see that the price actually came down to just to the 30,000, just below the 30,000 mark, in fact. And you've got this first wick low here at 33,000. I wouldn't be surprised to see us actually range here, even for like another week or more. And whilst the confidence comes back into the market, and there's going to be people that have been hit quite hard, so it's going to take a while, I think, for the confidence to come back into the market, and we stay in this range here, and then we break out, and hopefully, as I say, if we look at dominance, dominance is looking like it's going to reject and come down. So I think that will only happen when Bitcoin starts to pump up in price. So when Bitcoin gets to the point where it's consolidated for long enough here, breaks through and then starts to move up, that's when we'll see the dominance start to come down as people move some of their Bitcoin profits into the altcoins again. And this incidentally, guys, just to give you some, to leave on a positive note and hopium for the summer. This is a huge rising wedge now, and if we get, we've come to the top of the wedge, we're rejecting it. There's a 68% chance that this rising wedge, when it comes back down, will break to the downside. So if we get price action that comes down, bounces along for a little while here, then and then comes down and then down again, and then we get this sort of move that comes all the way back down to here, to this area here, then this move here is going to be huge moves in the altcoin and crypto market. So that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're hoping for, guys. So yeah, sorry guys, it's been a sad couple of days. Appreciate that. Some of you hopefully managed to protect yourself and didn't get stung too badly, and all the best, guys. Always remember, take profits and buy something real, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. All the best, take care.